Good morning, grade 8s. Welcome to the live memo of class test 2D. We will get straight into number 1.1, dealing with the laws of exponents once again. So use the laws of exponents to simplify the following. Leave your answers in exponential form. 1.1.1, we have negative 5x to the power 3, y to the power 7, times 2x, y to the power 5. From our previous memos, we saw that this is one big product, meaning there's only multiplication happening here, and the commutative property allows us to rearrange and multiply whatever we want with each other. So in other words, we can multiply negative 5 with 2. Please note that there's a negative in front of the 5 there. So we are saying negative 5 times 2, which gives us negative 10. So that's the numbers multiplied with each other. Then the powers of x, remember that there is a 1 as an exponent of x there. So when we multiply the powers of x, we need to include that 1 when we add the exponents. So the law of exponents says that I can keep my base of x and add 3 plus 1, which is 4. And then the same thing for y. I've got y to the power 7 times y to the power 5. And that, of course, is 7 plus 5, which is 12. And that's my answer. Negative 10 x to the power 4, y to the power 12. 1.1.2. We have a fraction, and we've looked at a few of these, so this should be familiar to us now in terms of what we need to do. So in the numerator, remember, we assess and look at the numerator, and then separately we'll look at the denominator and see if we can simplify them individually first before we actually multiply. So with the numerator, we've got a power of 4. In other words, the product inside the numerator is the negative 2 times x to the power 5 times y to the power 2. In other words, this product over here, that is all being raised to the power 4. So we've got a product raised to a power, and we know that if we are raising a product to a power, every factor inside that product must be raised to that power. So the first factor in the product is negative 2, so we'll raise negative 2 to the power 4. And then we have x to the power 5, that's raised to the power 4. And we have y to the power 2, that's also raised to the power 4. So that way, each of the factors are being raised to the power outside the bracket. Then the same thing will happen in the denominator. We've got 2 there. So the product here is 2 times x times y to the power 4. And that is all being raised to the power of 2. So we've got 2 to the power 2, and we've got x to the power 2, and we've got y to the power 4, y to the power 4 raised to the power 2. And then we simplify. So in our numerator, negative 2 raised to the power 4, if you are uncertain of how that will pan out, just use your calculator. So I've got negative 2 inside the bracket, and I've got raised to the power 4. You can do the same thing on your calculator, and you'll find that your answer is 16. Okay, please don't take chances if you are not certain. Just use your calculator if you are in doubt. Then x to the power 5 raised to the power 4. We are going to multiply these exponents here. We're going to multiply those exponents there, and here we're going to multiply there as well in the bottom. So that is x 5 times 4, which is 20, and then we've got y 2 times 4, which is 8. And then in my denominator, I've got 2 to the power 2, which is just 4. I've got x to the power 2, which is already there, and 4 times 2 for the y, that will just be 8. Right, so now we've simplified our numerator and denominator individually, and we still need to divide. So again, 16 divided by 4 is 4, not a quarter. So just check with your calculator if you're uncertain. So that is 4. Then for my x's, I am going to divide that 2 powers, or those 2 powers, and subtract the exponents. and then I'm going to do the same thing for the y's over there. Right, so I keep my base of x and I subtract my exponents 20 minus 2, which is 18. And then for y, I've got 8 minus 8, which is 0. Okay, so please pay attention here. This particular power, of course, we know that anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So y to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So I know then I can simplify this further and say, well, since that is 1, I will simply be left with x to the power 4x to the power 18 times 1, which is just 1. So you don't need to write it. It's gone because you don't need to show the 1, because 4x to the power 18 times 1 will just remain 4x to the power 18.